Sri Lanka recognizes the vital role that UNCITRAL has played in harmonizing and modernizing the international trade law and in effect contribute to good governance. Sri Lanka supports the work of the working groups, in particular the working groups 2 and 3. With regard to working group 3, Sri Lanka welcomes reforms proposed to the UNCITRAL rules of arbitration on third-party funding. We are, however, concerned that all reform proposals leave third-party funded arbitration claims as a matter to be determined by the arbitral tribunal once constituted. In fact, this would mean that where third-party funding is not allowed, it would be a matter of jurisdiction and not of admission. We are of the view that where third-party funding is not permitted or restricted, it is a decision that needs to be addressed at the outset and one that determines the admissibility of the request for arbitration. We therefore believe that reform proposals should consider requiring the respective arbitration centre, or where no centre is mentioned, any other mechanism constituted to consider the admissibility of the arbitral reference prior to registering the same and communicating with the respondent. The underlying concern is that the state should not have to incur arbitral costs in challenging the third-party funding as permitted before an arbitral tribunal when such permission is denied outright by treaty. We are also appreciative of the fact that third-party funding is permitted in some common law jurisdictions. Now, TPF has and continues to become more prevalent across the legal market, both in terms of the number of cases being funded and in the number of specialist firms offering funding. Although no formal regulation of TPF has been founded to be necessary, self-education in the form of a code of practice is highly advisable to provide a layer of protection to funded clients. Sri Lanka wishes to study this with care to ensure that any new practice would be consonant with our law. It is important to appreciate that the Code of Conduct requires funders to behave reasonably and sets the standards for the capital adequacy of funders, including the specific limited circumstances in which funders may be permitted to withdraw from a case. Now, some questions occur, such as whether it would be mandatory for a party to disclose that it is funded. There is no general requirement, for example, in English law, for a party to disclose a TPF arrangement to any opposing party or to the court or tribunal. However, from an ethical standpoint, disclosing the existence of funding in arbitrations is desirable given the potential for conflict of interest between a third-party funder and the tribunal. It has been observed that this is of particular relevance if a tribunal has sat in a number of cases where the claimant has been funded by the same funder, or if the funder is evaluating a case in which the funded claimant is represented by the tribunal's law firm or the chambers. We take cognizance of the position under English law, which we look to for precedent, that a party is able to share privileged and confidential material with a limited number of third parties under an express agreement to keep that material confidential, thereby preserving its privileged status. To protect against inadvertent waiver of a client's privilege, parties should enter into a non-disclosure agreement with the funder from the outset.
Close Up Everfresh Toothpaste. පැය 12ක් දක්වා නැවුම් මුවක පහස අත්විඳින්න.